Bam! What's up everybody? Welcome to my channel. So today I'm going to tell you guys a story because I haven't really done a story time. So I thought I will tell you guys a story today. Honestly, so traveling at 14, it was kind of terrifying for me because, for me, when I was leaving Palau, because that's where I was living, I was kind of like, I was excited because I was moving to the United States of America, but when I thought about it, from there, I was so excited. I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm going to America and this, I'm just like so happy. And then I didn't know who I was leaving behind. I left my whole family. I left my little brother, my little sister, and a bunch of my cousins and a bunch of friends, some friends, and a lot of relatives. And at that time it didn't really affect me. So, I was like, I'm going to America, because I was moving up to my aunties. So at 14, in Palau it has, they say that we're allowed to travel at 14. So I only had, I don't have anybody escort me, like sitting next to me when I got onto the plane. I think when I left Palau, I left like at 1 a.m. in the morning. And then when I got into my gate, I left like, and one of my uncle was with me. So we left because he was going to Guam, and then so we had the same flight. So then we kind of left like around 2 a.m. So, and then when we got to Guam, we split, me and my uncle was split up from there. So then, and it was so like in a rush. The people actually, when I got down, they have my name. They were like, they will say Leiloha. They spell my name wrong, and I don't really, and then even my last name, because they put like R-A-M-O-N-E at the end. There's no E at the end of my last name. So then I will like misread, and even the Leiloha, they will put L-A-Y-L-O-H-A. So then when I got down, they say look for a person with my name on it. So when I got there, they took me all the way to, because the plane leaves at 7 and then I arrived early, so then we have to like rush to the other side of the gate so I can make it to my next flight. So we got to Guam, I rushed to the other side, and for me I was like, oh my god, what's going on, like I don't know what's going on. And then this dude, it was a guy, he was helping me out. He was like, okay, we gotta rush because your flight is about to leave, and then you have to go and go to your gate. So we were just like walking and running, and I had my bag, and I was like just looking at him, and I was like, what's going on? Like I was 14, so I didn't really know what's going on that whole time. And then when we got to my gate, the dude was like, okay, we checked in with a lady, like check my ticket, and then she's like, okay, you can go. So from there I went, and then they say, they show me what letter, what number was my seat. So then when I got there, and then there's this lady came in, and she's like, she took me into the plane, and then we went to my seat and we sat there. And from Guam to Japan, I got to Japan, oh my gosh, got to Japan. It was so funny because honestly, so I got down from Japan, and the people that had my name, they had my name wrong as well again. So I didn't know that I was supposed to meet somebody over there. So I got off the plane, and then the lady was like, look for somebody with your name. So I was like looking around, and they had my name with Leiloha. It's something like that. Like they have another L in there. So I didn't know who was that. So, and then when I saw my last name, because I see the R-A-M-O-N, they got my last name right. So I was like, oh, I think I'm supposed to meet that guy. So I went and met the guy and the girl, because they were holding my name. And then they took me, and I didn't understand Japanese, and they were like kind of speaking like broken English, English half Japanese, and I'm just like, I didn't know what's going on. So they were telling me just to go to the to my to my gate area and I'll wait over there, or I can go walk around because I have like a how many hour, 6-hour delay or something like that. It was something, it was because my flight was at 1 p.m. but I arrived early, very early. So when I arrived there, and it was just scary, and I was like going around, I was looking at my ticket and I'm like, okay, I have to go here, and I was like, I stopped and I was like waiting, and I was reading my book, like the gate, or what's that, and I was just like there, like reading. I'm like, and then I'm like, what the heck am I gonna do? Because they already left. They had to just like take me from the plane, and got out of the plane. I don't know what they call that area, that plane thing when you walk. I don't know. So they got me out there, and then they just tell me where to go, and then that's where. But I wasn't really understanding because I was only 14. I didn't know what the heck was. It was kind of. So I just went to the area and I was like looking at, and then there's this two lady. They were from Dallas, and I felt very blessed that day because I was so lost. When I got to Japan, I got so lost. Plus, I didn't eat any breakfast from Guam because I was rushing through to get to my gate, so I didn't get any breakfast from there. But when I got on plane, I did have food, but I didn't have much. So then when I got to Japan, that's where I was like, I was so hungry when I got off from there. So there's these two Dallas lady. They came up and they're like, oh hi, and then they were like, they introduced themselves. I forgot their names, which I'm just like, oh my gosh, I can't remember their name right now. But they were so sweet. So they came up to me and they were like, hey, well, it's like, and they introduced themselves, and I was like, oh, I'm Leiloha. And and they were like, how old are you? And I was like, 14. And they were like, I was like, girl, they were like, oh sweetie, you're too young to like, you're too young to like fly in. But actually they were like, so like, they were very like surprised. Actually they were they're surprised that I travel at 14. And then they were like, so they were asking if I was lost and everything, and I was like, yes, I'm very lost, I don't know where I'm going. And so they looked at my plane ticket, and it was so funny because surprisingly we had the same plane ticket. So they were like, okay, you can stay, and they were like, they were like, oh, we have the same flight. So, and then they were like, and we have a very late delay, so we're gonna be here for another like how many hours, so until 1:50, something like that. It was on that. So they were like, you can stick with us, and they were so sweet. So after that we didn't go to the gate yet. We actually were like in the hallway, like we went, and then we got to actually it was so cool. Like that airport had malls, they had restaurants, they had, so we went and we sat at this area, and then we were sitting there and they were looking at their pictures. They went and met their Japanese friends, and they were like showing me their picture from their parties and their meeting, and it was so cool watching. They were like actually like sharing, and I was like, and I was sitting there and I didn't want to tell them I was hungry. So I sat there and I was like, okay, I told them I'll be right back. So I went. And it's so funny because my auntie told my mom, make sure that she has a card when she gets to Japan. But you know what? My mom totally forgot about it. And so at that time in Japan, I went and I was hungry. I was so hungry, and I went and I was like, I'm just gonna grab books or whatever. So I went and grabbed some books and everything, and I grabbed some like, some munchies to like eat on and whatever. And then so when I got all the stuff that I wanted, and I started going up I was walking up to the desk where the cashier area, and it was so funny because when I got there, and then I kept looking at this guy's money. They were giving Japanese money, and I'm like, I took out and I'm just like, and I look over because I saw them handing out like Japanese money, and I'm just like looking at my American money, all cash, and I'm just like, and I was looking at it and I'm like, I think, like, for me, I was like, I think I got the wrong cash to be here. or you know. So what I did is I stepped out of line and I went back and put everything back, and I walked back to the two Dallas ladies, and I went there and then I sat there. I sat, and then they were like, and they were discussing about food, and they were like, oh, we're hungry, what do you want to eat? And then they asked me if I was hungry. Oh my gosh, I was kind of like, I didn't want to say I was hungry, but that I was super hungry. Like it was so like I needed some, like, I don't know, nutrition in my body. So what I did, I was like, I looked at them and they were like discussing about food, and then they asked me if I wanted some food, and I said yes, I do. And then they asked me, and then they were like, and I said I can pay for it, and then they're like, and they asked me what kind of money that I have, and I was like, I have this money, and I took out what I had, and they're like, sweetie, they're like, they don't take American money over here. And I was like, I looked at her and I was like, what? And then they were like, you have to have a card. And then they showed me this card, and I was like, oh, because I said I wanted to pay for my food. I wanted to pay for my own food. And for me, I was really rejecting them for buying me food. And then they were like, think of it as it's a gift. Like, you know, it's a gift from us. Because I was really saying, no, don't buy me food. I'll wait until I get to my next, when I get home, when I get to my destination. And then they're all like, and they were like, sweetie, you haven't eaten yet. But and then they can tell, because I was like, I don't know how they tell, but they're literally like, they say they can tell that I was really hungry. And so then what happened is, so they're like, they say, think of it as a gift from us, and whatever that we give you, think of it as like a gift from us. So I was like, and I'm like, okay, I'll try that. So then we went to this burger area. It was so freaking good. I don't know. It was something. It was, I don't know. I think I was just hungry, or it was just like the food was so good. And so we went there and we stand in line, and then we ordered our food. And then I remember they gave the card, and then the card works. And if you're gonna give money, you have to give them Japanese money, not American money. So I was like there ordering food. I was so excited because I was like, I'm hungry. And then so I got my food, we got all our food, and we went back to our area, and we went there and we sat down. As we sat down, I'm just like munching on that burger like so bad, and I'm like drinking, and then they're all like laughing at me because the way I was eating, I was like, for me, I thought I was rude, but they understood because I was hungry, because I didn't really eat on the plane. And I told them that I was like, we arrived early, so they didn't put out breakfast. So then I was really hungry, and they're all like, and then they're telling me to like slow down and all that, because you know the food is not gonna run away. So I was like laughing, and then so I thank them so much. Like I was so blessed that I got to meet them, and they gave me gifts. So when we went, after eating and everything, oh my gosh, I was just sitting there like, I was like so relieved, and I was so full, and I was like, yes. So then after that, and we had like a lot of hours. So we walked, I don't know, I think we walked through that whole entire airport, because our flight was at like 1:50 something. So then we went around, we went to the mall, and I can't really buy stuff. They were gonna buy me some stuff, but I told them not to. But they keep saying, think of it as a gift. So I bought, mostly I bought like the cheap things, like I bought some gum, because I love gum. And then I bought some word search and a book. And then this magazine of Justin Bieber, because I was a huge Justin Bieber fan. And when they saw me when I bought the magazine, and they're like, are you into Justin Bieber? And I was like, yes. And they all like laugh at me, and I was like, and they're like, but they said that their kids actually likes Justin Bieber. So I was like, what's not to like from him? I mean, and I was like, and they're all like we sat there and we talk about Justin Bieber. So then I got the magazine and a book and word search. For me, I was like very very happy that I met them, and they helped me with going through the gates, because I didn't know where I was going, and especially in Japan. And they actually understand Japanese, because when we go up to cashiers and what, they spoke Japanese. They spoke a little Japanese. They understand a little Japanese. So that was really cool. And I was like, whoa, you speak Japanese? And you know, those two were like really cool. They were really cool girls. So then after that, like few hours later, and then our flight, and then I remember we have different seats. They were like an E and E something, and I was down at a D something. I forgot. But from there, we got onto the plane. We got to San Francisco. That's where we kind of split up, because it was a different. There's lines. So and then we split up from there. I didn't even get to say goodbye. I didn't get to like say, but I was very 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 thankful for the things that they got me, because when I got onto the plane, it was a long flight. So I was sitting there and I was playing with my word search, I was reading, and I was listening to music, because they had music on the plane. So then I was listening to music, and then after that, and I go back to my reading, and it was like really a long flight. In San Francisco, I had to recheck my bags, which was so funny, because I had a little a cooler. There was like fish in there and everything. I know my family loves fish, so they love fish, so I bought them fish. I brought them like those abrabang bread and coconut bread or whatever. But when we got there, I had I was taking off my the cooler, and I couldn't lift the cooler. So then there's this lady came up, and she was she was rude. I don't know why, but she came up. She's like, hi. I was like, hi, where's your parents? And I was like, I'm traveling alone. And they were like, how old are you? And I'm like, I'm 14. And she's like, sweetie, you cannot be traveling at 14. Like, it says like for that, like in America, I think that they say the law is that you're not allowed to be traveling at 14. That's what she said. And I looked at her and I was like, well, where I'm from, they allow us to travel at 14. And the lady was like, okay. And then she's like, and she was like so rude. And then so I was like, oh, and I was like, are you gonna help me with this? Because she was a worker over there. And then she's like, you traveled yourself, so you carry your own stuff. So then, and then there's this nice guy. He was so sweet. He was like, he came up and he was like, I'm so sorry about her. And he told her to go do something else. And then he came and he's like, what do you need help? So he's like, and I was like, I just need to carry this onto the cart, whatever. So he's like, oh, let me do it for you. So he carried the cart into the big cooler into the cart, and then we went to we went to the check-in area. And then he was so nice. He was like, I'm so sorry about her. I think she's just having a bad day or something like that. I don't know. So, and it, like for me, I was like, well, she wasn't really nice. And I was 14. So the guy was like, how old are you? And I was like, I'm 14. And they're like, you're traveling at 14? Wow. And he was surprised as well. Like the two Dallas ladies, they were like surprised. But he was so nice. So he came and helped. He put up the cooler onto the belt, and then he went through, we checked everything in, and then from there, and then he showed me what gate I was supposed to go to and everything. So then he just gave me directions and what gate number, and then he was showing me on the ticket. So then I went all the way looking for my my flight, and from there, I just got onto the plane and I went to Maryland, and that's where I went to BWI. I went, and I think from that flight I slept through that flight because I was so tired, because it was a 22-hour flight, guys. 22, from Palau to Guam to Japan to San Francisco and then to Maryland. That was a 22-hour flight. So yeah, I was I slept through that flight all the way to BWI, Baltimore. So then I remember when I got down, and I remember they gave me a number to call. So I got down and I got my stuff. The cooler was going down to the check-in, the whatever area. I got out of the plane, and then there's this desk area where the people come in, they check whatever. So I went there and I'm like, I got a number that they told me to call. So I got there and I'm like, can I borrow your phone to call this person, because this is the number that they gave me to call when I arrived. And then they're like, okay. The lady was so nice. She was so nice. So she was like, so I gave her the number to dial, and then when I answered, I was like waiting for them to add. I was like, and then the phone was ringing, and then finally they're like, hey, where are you? And I'm like, I don't know, are you coming to get me? And the lady was there, and then I was like, I didn't know that they cannot come enter into the was that they had to stay out there and wait for me to go out there, but I didn't know. So I was like, are you guys gonna come and get me? And they're like, I'm here, but I don't know where I'm going. And they're all like, you just have to get out and just walk straight, and then you'll see us from there. And I'm like, and then the lady was like, are you traveling alone? I was like, yeah. I was like, yeah, I am. And then that's when they were like, and the lady, I'll take you to your family. I'm like, okay, this lady will take me out. Okay, I'll see you. You know, I hanged up the phone. And then the lady she took me in there, like, and then she was asking where I came from, and I was like, oh, I came from Palau. And then she looked at me like, what? Like, she never heard of Palau. And then she didn't know where Palau is. So I was like, it's like close to Philippines, alright. And they're like, you traveled that long? And I was like, yeah, it's a very long flight. And then I was saying, I landed in Guam, and then Japan, and then San Francisco, and then here. And then she was like, oh my gosh, that's a long flight. And she was helping me. She actually was carrying my bag, my hand carry-on. So when we went, and then we were like walking, and then that's when I saw my whole family. It was like my cousins. I was like Marilu, Jonathan, Junior, Rivka, and then the two aunties, which is our Rosalita, Johanna, and Auntie Marilyn. And then when I got there, I was like, I recognized my auntie. I recognized Auntie Marilyn, and I knew Rivka. And then I went them first because I recognized Marilyn. And then I went and hugged my cousin. And then that's when Auntie Johanna and Rosalita came up. And that's when I was like, I don't know them. And then they came and they're like, oh, I'm your auntie. This is Auntie Johanna. This is Auntie Rosalita. We're gonna be taking care of you. So I was like, oh, hi, I'm Leiloha. And then we were like, cause I've never met my aunties before, but that was the first. And then I only recognized one of my aunties, which is Auntie Marilyn. So then from there, then we were like, okay, we have to go get the cooler. And they were excited because they want the fish, they want the bread and everything. So we went down there, we waited from my cooler. And then we were down there, and I remember one of my cousin came up and hugged me, and I literally like cool like this, because for me it's like I've lived in a small island where like all my cousins are all like, you know, the same color as me. But she came up, she was white. And then you know what I said? I was like, and then she came and was like, hi, I'm your cousin. And then she hugged me, and I was like, I have white cousin. And then she like literally like backed up, and then she's like, what? And I was like, I didn't know I have white cousins. And then my aunties, and you know, they all laugh at me because it was like my first time in America. So you know, I didn't know there's like words that I'm not supposed to say or whatever. And then she was laughing as well, and she was like, this is my dad. And the dad was there. His name was Felicia, so he was there too. And then he was like, yes, you have cousins that are, you know. And then so he was explaining that's our cousin, and I was like, oh, it's nice to meet you. So yeah, I was so like, but after that, yeah, that was like a very long story, guys. My gosh, I don't know how you guys like stay here, like, you know. But yeah, that's my experience traveling at 14. I honestly, I have no idea what I'm doing, but with the people's help, just taking me out from the plane and bringing me to was that gate areas, the gate area. That was like really like very helpful for them. I was really thankful for them. And then the two Dallas ladies who helped me from Japan because I was so lost, and then they gave me gifts, and I was very thankful. And then got to San Francisco. I was really thankful for the guy that actually came up and then tried to help me. Really nice of him. And then I came to Baltimore, and then this lady helped me out to my family. So that was really nice. It was this very scary like experience, but I actually learned a lot from there. So yeah. So I hope you guys enjoy that very long story, and I hope you guys learned something from there. Like, you know, make sure not to don't bring American money to Japan. Have a card or whatever, because I didn't. So I was like about to be starve until San Francisco, but I had two blessed, like two ladies, guardians came and then helped me out, so that was really nice. So yeah, I was really blessed. I was really happy, and I was like, especially when I got the food into my stomach, and I was like, oh my god, I'm so happy. But yeah, anyway guys, I hope you guys enjoy that story, and I hope you guys don't get bored through that whole, like, you know, it's like, but yeah, that was my experience. I just wanted to share it because, you know, I wonder if there's like you guys out there that are young and traveling, and you know, it's terrifying, you know, when you guys think about it. It's like, oh my god, it's scary. Actually, yes, it is scary, but when you go through it, it's actually you learn and you gain experience, and then basically travel through the world. Like, you travel to I don't know how many countries, but you know, it's really cool. So yeah, I was really happy, and I was like really blessed to actually have all those people help me out throughout that whole long travel. So yeah. So anyway guys, I hope you guys enjoy this story time, and I hope you guys can come back for more, because I have more stories. So if you guys want more stories, hit that like button, and so I can see who are watching, who are reading, you know, and I'll do more stories for you guys. So anyway guys, thank you for tuning in with me today, and I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. I don't know, my hair is going crazy. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend, and stay tuned for more videos and other videos. So yeah. Okay everybody, thank you for watching. Please subscribe to this channel to become a lace layer, and give this a thumbs up, and stay tuned, and I will see you soon. Peace.